All right. Is there many musicians in this town, or I guess the other side? Either side, really.
Well, we have Shinju right here, who's a musician. She's our star actor. Back when we used to do these shows more often, we picked her up as a little runt, and she used to do some little performances. Isn't that right, Shinju? And Shinju rolls her eyes and does not comment on this. Um, went to Taro and Maro, who were also musicians. And then Vaclav will tell you that the people here are only half of the Walden Theater Company, and the other half are on the other side of the wall. Two of them in prison. Um, all of which or the two in prison both being musicians as well.
Mm. Was the last time songs were heard was when your friend got locked up?
He nods.
I think we might need to change that. We shall see. Um, as he seems to like pause and he starts thinking to himself. Maybe, maybe the music might be able to move people, but I don't know. I feel like nothing less of a martyr would inspire these people to push past their fear. And I don't know about you, but I'm not signing up for that, and I do not expect you to.
Mm. Hmm. Hey, Curio,
Yes.
what does your dog friend say? I can't understand his barking. I assume he's talking.
Anything you want to say, dog?
You know my name. I know you do. Hmm. I had a lot of thoughts, and they just left me instantly because I've been thinking about one thing.
One thing, like the One Piece.
I, Eve, can you ask about Frankfurt if he's ever outside during the daytime, like noticeably, if he makes like public appearances out in the day?
Does Frankfurt ever make any public appearances in the daytime?
No, not often, no.
Where is his base of operations?
Big fuck off mansion on that hill behind us.
Hmm.
You guys saw it on the way in.
And he's from Kamiki,
He's from Lataise.
like I say. Okay, but he has Kamiki weaponry.
Yes.
How secure is his mansion?
I don't know.
No one's ever tried.
I
Fair enough.
assume pretty good. Well, it's well. That's where that military knowledge comes in. Frankenfurt was smart enough to build it on a hill, so anyone approaching he'd be able to see.
It is a pretty good fortification.
Why else do you think Bondum might put much of their operations in the mountains?
Trust I understand mountain bases.
Yeah, those fuckers will do anything to maintain their land advantage. And I do mean anything. And he says that with such a bitter tone. It's almost as bitterly as he talks about Frankenfurt. Just bottom eye in general.
Fair enough.
Hey, I live there. I don't say this.
Putting together the tusked mask, the fear of mirrors, and avoidance to daytime appearances. Hey Leo, can I make
And
some kind of
inability to
check?
be
Is this guy
stabbed.
on me? Yeah, is this guy on me? You gotta be real with me. What check do I roll for that?
Is he a you?
Yeah.
This would be. You can make this
Does deal with
Arcana,
necromancy too.
or you can make this Arcana, or you could make this Nature as well. You'll get two different answers depending on which one you use.
Oh, we're going on the one I'm proficient with. That's a 9. Big 9. Big 9 in chat.
Big 9.
Big 9.
You haven't really met many people like you, so it's hard to know if it's like the same, like consistently throughout like person to person.
Yeah.
But Frankenford at the very like with a 9, this is clear enough considering the ravens and the kind of like the color of the mask and like the way the mask is depicted. At the very least, Frankenfurt is definitely undead.
Okay. Dog Pator is going to tell Akirio, fire is our best bet.
The dog says we should go for fire.
Why is that?
Nothing to bring back.
The dog is not talking anymore.
This would also put into context Moriarty's comment about him not being able to be sliced.
Right.
Yeah. We gotta crush him. We gotta crush his bones.
Burn him.
Radiance might help.
I am an angel.
Moriarty's weapon is not discernibly magical.
Interesting. Well, we do have a ballad in here, so against the undead, that should be quite nice. Do we know if there are any other undead in there?
He shrugs.
Fair enough. But that puts an interesting spin on things. Hmm. Well, now here's the question. We need to know what resources we have at hand to tackle this problem. You said you were all craftsmen, right?
No, not.
What crafts can you perform?
Normandian's like, well, we're called the Walden Theater Company, so you can probably guess.
Disguises, maybe? Um,
Among all of them, the talents that you can discern, wood carving, painting, sculpting, uh, writing, and acting seem to be these people's specialties.
Hmm.
For the wood carvers and sculptors, it's for masks and stuff like that. They do have a costume designer, but she's on the other side of the wall.
that makes sense. Hmm. I'm trying to think of a way to deceive Frankfurt into thinking he's a lot more safe than he is. But things come in time.
He likes to be groveled to.
He likes to be what?
Definitely not.
Groveled to.
That checks out. A man who thinks he's more superior than anybody else loves to see the praises. Trying to think what would get him down on his guard. Probably the groveling. But it is hard
But
to
do you really
attack a
want to
man
do that?
from I refuse to kneel to a tyrant.
I think all of us do as well.
It is also difficult to strike from a groveling position. But maybe. I'm not sure. So he comes down to town with roughly 20 soldiers. He is an undead who controls necromantic ravens. Cannot be sliced. He's a. Do we know if he is a wizard specifically, or is he something else?
Dunno, does spell sometimes.
Fair enough.
Probably a sorcerer or a wizard.
There's freaky shit, I'll tell you that. Magic
Like
freaks
what?
me out.
Sounds like a sorcerer.
What kind of spells have you seen him cast?
Uh, it's like ones to like shoot like I don't know, like lightning beams and shit. I don't know, hard to describe. It's all just mojo to me. It's terrifying though. I don't think we should mess around with that kind of thing personally, but
Depending on what kind of a magic he has. Do you know if he has any other mages on his side?
nothing. I hope not.
Okay, that at least makes it a little bit easier. Shouldn't completely discount it though. Um, does he have any advisors other than uh, the Furbolg and the uh, I can't remember the other one.
The other one we just know is small.
You know, that is a good question. Who is the other, I guess, bodyguard? We have very little information on him.
Uh, Mara will answer this question. And he says, if I can pull it up, he goes, Moxford usually handles Frankenfurt's more shady stuff. He's the one that gets information for him. From what we've seen, he's a little goblin guy. Tends to poke his nose where it doesn't belong.
Interesting.
Not much is known about him. He's not the flashy type.
Makes sense if you don't want to be seen. Does he often come on this side of the wall?
No, usually the other side from what we can tell.
That is good. But I suppose I shall keep an eye out, just in case. The attention we have garnered to their forces. I'm sure it wouldn't be surprising if suddenly we have a goblin peeking over our shoulders.
Oh, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Actually, I need to end pretty soon.
Yes.
Um, any other burning questions from anybody?
Not right now, no.
It seems like we have a good idea of what we need to do next, which is meet him tomorrow and observe, and then find a way to actually kill him.
Is there a sewer system here?
This is a good question that I don't actually have the answer to. I'm gonna go with no for now.
You're gonna go with no?
I'm gonna go with no for now.
Fair enough.
And they're right by the ocean. So, let me just toss it in there.
Fair enough.
Crazy work.
Man, I'm just trying to think of ways to infiltrate.
I think infiltration may come after execution. Like, we may have to kill him first and then get inside the wall after the leader's gone.
No, I mean like infiltration into the mansion.
Oh. Oh, I see.
If we could try to get him while he's completely off his guard and not expecting us, because if he comes down to town, he should at least be expecting us a little bit. And the bugbear that I keep forgetting the name of.
Verbal.
Um,
Gulshan.
oh yeah, Furbolg, my bad. Yeah, Gulshan. Um, they're obviously aware of us, and I don't think without any significant like physical changes, we'd be able to like sneak in as like waiting staff or something along those lines. Which
mean,
we
I
do
have-
have a makeup artist, so
We have a makeup
Right.
artist, and I have Pass Without Trace, and we can go in from underneath the house if we have to. But that is a risky route because we don't know what the flooring is. We may just encounter stone flooring and be unable to proceed. But I can see a couple ways of entrance if we just have to get a couple people inside, but getting the whole party in with weapons is going to be way harder.
Mm-hmm.
I think,
There's no
well,
way I'm getting in there.
you could load me up with all the weapons. I turn into anything, and then the weapons are inside me.
I thought they dropped on the ground.
No, anything I have that I'm wearing or has equipped, so anything in my inventory immediately goes inside my wild shape.
Oh, that's pretty cool. That
Yeah, it's
definitely
useful,
an option.
but it's less useful if I get popped out of wild shape and all your shit's on the floor and you have to go use an action to pick it up.
I can
Yeah.
do the same thing, but I don't get popped out of my form.
Then we should load up Hush. That sounds like a much better idea if you don't have a hit point, like total that knocks you out and drops all of it on the floor. But carrying capacity does matter for this because you are technically still carrying all of that.
Yeah.
I don't know what your strength or carrying capacity is. I assume not high.
Is a -1.
Yeah.
Weebly does not have a carrying capacity.
Can you get Weebly out of his orb, or is he orbed forever now?
He's fine. I have an ability to heal him while he's in the orb, so he's at full health again. But still, yeah.
Then... Oh, that's why none of my spells were prepared. I'm on the goddamn copy. I wondered about that at the start of the session. I mean, we have options. They're just... We lack the information or the layout of the building to know which ones we should take.
Mm-hmm.
I
Okay,
honestly
okay.
think we're gonna have to wait until we actually see the guy to get at least like a vibe first.
Yeah. Well, if he's a me, it's going to be really hard to kid him. Like, at any point where he's, like, not aware. So he won't sleep.
That's right.
Where do the soldiers go on their time off?
They have no fucking idea. They assume Norman Dean's like, I just assume they go out and just, like, torture people for fun when they're not busy with, you know.
If they're from Bonamai, they probably do.
Are they from Banamai?
If they're from Bonamai, it's crazy.
And I'm from Bonamai.
Are they from Bonamai? I don't know. Vodcloud, are they from Bonamai? Vodcloud was like, he thinks for a while. He goes, at least one, right? I imagine.
Makes
Okay,
sense.
so we don't really know. Okay, yeah, that's fine.
If we can figure out where the soldiers might go, we might be able to ambush some of them and disguise ourselves as guards to sneak in. That way weapons don't seem so unusual. Nothing in my size, but it might be possible, doable. Especially with the help of a makeup artist, we might be able to blend in.
Yeah,
At least get most of our forces in.
Yeah, you got some makeup to make this guy a normal size.
Well, not me. I'll have to figure something else out. But I feel like most of you should, maybe with the exception of Beitor. But he could probably. Do they have hounds? Do you know?
Yes. Norman Dean's like, fuck if I know. I've never seen any.
All right. So until proven otherwise, we'll assume that they do not have any.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well, Beitor could probably turn into just about any animal and sneak in.
We don't know anything about his military operations. Just so that we can get all those questions squared away.
Yeah, that is fair.
What we got is he's a jackass, scared of mirrors, being dirty, and okay.
He doesn't. They do not know what Hush looks like, because Hush has been in the fox form the whole time, right?
Yeah. Yeah, but
So
Hush-
you kind of stick out like a sore thumb.
If you
It's
put a
just-
helmet on those ears, I'm sure it wouldn't be as bad.
I could be wrong.
At the tail?
Yeah, we could hide the tail.
And her face
Really?
It is
No.
workable.
I can change that.
Um, I think
Hold on, Hush. You can become other people, right?
I've got this guy's self.
And we know what his wife looks like.
this is true.
I don't know about that one.
Does your daughter ever leave the mansion, or does she stay?
She does not leave, no.
That's gonna make it harder.
Only when he visits town is she with him.
Makes sense. Maybe Hush could disguise herself as one of the guards, or
Oh.
maybe a servant. I assume they have servants, right? There's no way they don't.
Look at him.
Maybe.
Probably has servants to take off his shoes,
Mhm.
and that's their whole job. I do think the guard idea is probably the best. 'Cause
Uh,
at least if we can get in, we can have more access to like know more about the military aspect of what he has, because that's what we really lack right now.
mhm.
And depending on where the guard is that we kidnap, there's probably more likely of a chance that we'll get like the layout and any resources that we may need from the guard, like impersonation, than anything else.
My worry with the guard impersonation plan is that it puts one person like into the hornet's nest per se,
This is
and we don't
true.
know enough if we know they could get out. Like
Wh-
we don't know where the second bodyguard is right now. They could just be in the mansion waiting for any of us to try to go to the mansion.
This is true. I
So
think
it's a risk we have to choose how to mitigate.
Yeah, and again, we
when
still
is
have
he coming down to town again?
tomorrow morning.
Sorry?
Oh, he's coming down
Yeah.
to town tomorrow morning. Then maybe tonight we should. Maybe not tonight.
Well, I guess if
I
he's
don't
gonna
know.
be out of the mansion
That is true.
tomorrow, he wouldn't be able to see
We
us
might be
coming if
able
we're
to
already
sneak
in.
in. And I'm sure it is on less on guard because most of the men are with him,
Mm-hmm.
so it'd be easier to sneak in. Probably not the easiest, but easier.
Yeah.
And we do
Well,
have Muliati on our side, and I'm sure she knows a lot more about the military operations.
You know
So we
what?
should ask
We
her.
should go talk to
Moriarty
Muliati.
might know about the layout. Yeah.
Let's go talk
She
to
could tell us.
Muliati and see if she can give us any other info.
Yeah.
All right.
Plus, then we're staying out of the city, which is what we needed to do.
Yes. To keep ourselves out of sight, out of mind.
Yep.
We do not want to become a problem for these people. But I kind of like looks at everyone, and then he looks at Volchakov and he goes,
What?
"Excuse me, Volchakov. How did you recognize that the dog is not a dog and the fox is not a fox?"
Vaklav?
Yeah, Volkov, my bad.
No, it's okay.
Oh,
Vaklav
but I just
goes.
canonically bad with names.
Vaklav goes. Well, foxes don't look like that, and dogs don't do those things.
What do you mean foxes don't look like
I
that?
did only dog things.
He didn't bark.
You were on the
Um,
ceiling at one
But
point.
more importantly,
Oh yeah, that was later.
when you get my age and my experience, you can pick up on magic a little easier.
How old is
Oh, that's
Frankenfurter?
It's about
How old is
100.
Frankenfurter? He's old
Frankenfurter.
enough.
Okay, not
He's-
an answer.
Well, if he's undead, he's not aging, so it could. Volkov wouldn't know.
Well,
You just
if
know
Yeah.
he's
he's been here.
older and he can sense magic, wouldn't it make sense to know if he's older than Volklav?
Yeah, if it's If it's an age thing, then I think any type of sneak in through animal form is a bad idea then.
He older than you?
Is he older than me?
Yeah.
Um, I don't think so.
Okay.
I mean, he lived in Light, I say. I traveled through there briefly.
Is that like a magical city or?
Yeah, do we
Light,
have
I
anyone in the
say.
party from Light I say?
Yeah, the
Wait.
one person that's not here right now.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
It's fuck. May fell asleep. We can ask her in the morning.
Okay. Speaking like as if May was still here, would May have ever heard of Frankfurt?
No. Because he would have left to Artagon, I think,
By then.
before May was really old enough to have ever heard about him.
Okay, makes sense. So yeah, he's probably like normal people age right now.
Yeah, well, he's been here for 50 years, right?
Let me see.
Because the wall went up 49 years ago.
Well, one of 49 years ago, but he wasn't always here because the wall started as a project between Arna Bonamai and I think it was
We need to
against
talk to
Melvin.
Molyati. We need
Yeah,
to talk to the person that
I
worked
think
for
we
this
need to-
Yeah,
guy.
Moyani will be able to give me the lowdown.
Hey,
But the
Moyani,
wall
what are
began
you for?
the wall began as a project between Arna Bonamai and Melvin Argadon back when the war ended. Like they had there was disputes about whether the wall went up 20 years ago. Prior to that, there were disputes about where the border was between Argadon and Bonamai, and those were on and off for the
Like 30 years
the,
between.
the 30 years before that. The
Yeah.
wall was their final solution, and then the wall was overseen by Frankenfurt because
So he's probably
he was given the land around that time, anyways.
okay. So
Who
he's been
gave
here
him the land?
roughly 20-ish years.
Roughly 20-ish years.
Okay. We still need to talk to Molyati for information on the military aspect, what actual forces he has or may have had during her employment, and to see if there's any weakness in the building. Because if there's something in the mansion we can exploit, we should.
Yeah.
I'm sure we might even be able to find more information on him in the mansion.
Good idea. Let's get the hell out of here and leave these people alone.
Alright. Thanks again for your information. It was most useful.
They nod. And it looks like they're gonna do some drawing together for a while.
Some drawing?
Some drawing, like
The
just
art.
drawers.
They're gonna do some
Homie's just
art.
drawn.
They're gonna do some art together.
Me and my homies love arts and crafts.
Literally, yeah, arts and crafts.
I mean, they are a bunch of theater kids.
I fuck
Yeah.
with these guys heavy.
In their 50s or not,
Mhm.
they're theater kids.
Theater kid at heart.
They ever heard of Hamilton? I'm just kidding.
Yeah, the hit.
Vaclav's thoughts on Hamilton would be fascinating.
Is Lin-Manuel Miranda canon and dope?
No.
Why?
I refuse this reality and I substitute my own. Hamilton is real in this universe. America is a made up thing.
They made up
It's
America?
yeah,
America
they
is
made up
Narnia.
America. It's headcanon.
Hamilton is Harry Potter in this universe.
Hamilton is Harry Potter. Huh?
You're thinking
It's
too
not
much. Don't worry
real.
about it. Actually,
Yeah.
there's gonna be a bard named Lin-Manuel Miranda.
That's my backup character, is Lin-Manuel Miranda.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I think Vaclav would probably agree with Jefferson more on the whole Constitution thing.
Almost
Even though he
dumping
wouldn't
Jefferson into fucking Google.
he wouldn't like Jefferson.
Not what
But
I-
Jefferson was Jefferson was really big on small government. That was a big thing in the second half of Hamilton. Was Hamilton wanted a strong central government with manufacturing and like a central bank and all this stuff, right? not necessarily like social welfare, but like a government that had like a lot of power versus Jefferson, who wanted a government that was largely hands off and focused on farming, which was unique from manufacturing.
Yeah.
That's like a very very loose like summary of that. Vaclav very much thinks the government should stay out of everybody's business. Um,
Well,
which
that's too
perhaps is
damn
the
bad.
which perhaps is the bottom eye in him that says that, even though he dislikes bottom eye.
Not too much. Hey, not too
Fair
much
enough.
on bottom eye, brother.
He has many thoughts on bottom eye. Most of them are not good.
Hey, I live there.
All right. Well, I gotta get going.
Okay,
Yeah, I
okay.
think let's end it here with you guys headed out.